Hello everyone, how you doing? You're very welcome to Visually Impaired Tennis. Hello everyone, how you doing? You're very welcome to this week's visually impaired tennis with myself, Aidan, Raftery, and of course, as always, to tell us about how they got on in the world visually impaired games, where he was coach for the Ireland visually impaired tennis team. We have Wesley O'Brien. Hello Wesley, how are you? Are you well?
Hi, Aidan. All good, yeah. All well.
Good to have you back. Good to have you back. Yeah, well, we did back in early July promise that we'd have we get in contact with you and have a reflection on how the games went. The championships went for you, and preparations went well. You were saying before you went over, and of course the tournament, and you got plenty of publicity, which is great. Great for both, I suppose, the organisation, and great for I suppose, to get it out there to let people know with visual impairments that there are opportunities for sport for them.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we were blown away by the support we got. Like, our first goal is actually to grow the game a bit around the country. Our goal is always to get at least one visually impaired and blind tennis program in every county in Ireland. So that's like 32, programs that we would love to get going. I think we're in about 15 or 16 at the moment. But what happened now leading up to the game, we were very lucky to get a lot of national radio on Morning Ireland with RTE and Off the Ball. We were lucky to be on Ireland AM on television on August the 18th. They were very good to put us on for a slot, which was seen by a lot of people. We ended up getting a good luck message from the Taoiseach. The Taoiseach did a personal message wishing the team the very best of luck. And Michael D. Higgins sent on a letter to the team, just wishing them all the best in the games. And so it's fantastic for them and the work that they've put in, but the publicity was brilliant, and growing the game. It really is what it's all about. And not just, blind and visually impaired tennis, but, blind and visually impaired sports in general, because it's a social outlet. It can change people's lives. It's getting them out of the house. It's getting them to do something new. It's meeting friends. The competitive side of it is always there for people who want to do that. But it is more so the social side of it and the mental health, side of it that's crucial that we're trying to grow.
That's great. And the publicity is great as well. But can you take us through, I suppose, travelling over, and I suppose once you got over there, the preparation for the tournament itself, and you were saying, like for the first time you went over, it was you learned a lot, and considering it was the first one, you did quite well.
Yeah, we did. Like I said, it was like a 7-day trip for us. So we would have travelled over on April the 21st. And then we would have had a practice day on the 22nd, and then the competition started on the 23rd to the 27th. So it was like a 5-day competition. It was, some very strong teams. This is the first time ever that tennis has been involved in the World of Blind Sports Games, which are held every 4 years. So effectively an Olympic Games of blind and visually impaired sports. So I think roughly there was about 1,250 athletes from about 72 countries competing in sports. And, even though this was my third World Championships, a lot of the players were there for the first time, and they got a great kick out of going down to the canteen or the restaurants or the village in the morning and seeing the other teams from Iraq and Ukraine and Azerbaijan and Jamaica, all these different, countries from around the world. And they were like, this is incredible, to actually be part of something like this, which is brilliant. But, we done really well. We had 5 of the team their very first time competing. 2 of those got to bronze medal matches. So effectively they finished 4th in the world, which was fantastic. We had one lady, Marguerite Quinn, who has an inspirational story. She's from Limerick. And one girl, Ria, who's only 17, so she's got a great future playing for Ireland. So they both got to bronze medal matches. And everyone got a world ranking out of it, which is what we wanted.
That's great. And I suppose there's a reflection of, I suppose, the hard work, like I said, put in by yourself, put in by the players, but also by everyone else in the background as well. There was a lot of preparation for this, both for the players, but there was other aspects to it as well that for preparation, obviously the travel, I suppose the training leading up to it, the logistics of it, just fine tuning things. That's what led. It was great to see the rewards of all that hard work, both by the players, yourself, and everyone else that rode in behind you as well. And I suppose sponsors, everyone, supporters, families as well. Was key to it as well. And I suppose it was handy that it was like in Birmingham, so it wasn't too far to travel. It was a new experience. So I suppose there is another one, a standalone tournament you were saying coming up as well. So these, I'd say it'll be mostly the same players that'll be competing in that as well. So they'll have the experience of the World Games. Like you said, they'll have that experience behind them, so they'll kind of know what to expect going into the next tournament that you were saying, which is a standalone tournament, and indeed next year when the visually impaired World Games are on again.
Yeah, it's like I said, we had a tremendous amount of support. We had some fantastic sponsors, Progressive Vision in they came on board. They're wonderful in what they do. They're kind of vision, like a vision company themselves. We had Tia Pharma in Castlebar in Mayo that came on board with us, and they supported us well. We had like I was lucky enough to be national team as well as one of the coaches, but we had other coaches like Simon McFarland from Belfast and Anne-Marie Breen from Dublin. Everyone came over. We wouldn't be here without a man called Liam O'Donoghue from Shankill Tennis Club in Dublin. He was the guy who, I suppose, started blind tennis in Ireland back in 2017. He was over in London and he saw this being done in London, and he said he must bring this to Ireland. So like I've pretty much been involved in it from the very start. So, everyone has been, so supportive, and the good luck message we got, like I said, for Shirka from the president and around the country, just wishing as well. It's all about the team. It's all about the players. And, I'm starting to tell people is that, when people see these players play, and when they watch them online, and when they watch them live, we want them to say, wow, rather than, oh. That was always a big part of my job. It's great, that they get to do something. Okay, that's part of it, but we want them to say, wow, rather than, oh. That was very important. To see the ability level that they have is incredible. It really is.
That's great. And you just mentioned there Vision Sports Ireland. Would you believe I was telling you off air about Sarah McFadden? She's a member of the Ireland visually impaired rugby team. They're going to the Rugby World Cup in France. It's actually Old Wesley, but because it's the only club in Ireland at the moment. But would you believe she actually works for Vision Sport Ireland, and she's involved with National Council for the Blind as well. So that's another lovely another lovely connection. You probably dealt with her, I suppose, in one way or another. But I did a Zoom call with her earlier on. So that's a lovely connection there, isn't it?
I do. I know Sarah. Sarah's like a lot of the work that I do is obviously so I know Sarah well, and I know a lady called Rosie Cure who also was involved with Vision Sports, and Sarah and Rosie actually came over to Birmingham to the team play. So Sarah, the girl you're talking about, she came over and watched us for about 2 or 3 days. So it was great to see her over there, and Rosie, of course, just supporting us. But Vision Sports have been fantastic, and Tennis Ireland have been fantastic. And, Tennis Ireland has a new CEO at the moment, a guy called Kevin Quinn, who is like absolutely amazing. He was I think he was 25 or 30 years involved with Leinster Rugby in some form or another. And he's come over to Tennis Ireland now, Kevin Quinn. And he's been absolutely amazing in support for the visually impaired tennis team. He's been fantastic, he really has. So Tennis Ireland has been a big part of it.
That's great, and it's great to see all these organisations coming together to make it possible for. I suppose, some people say it's a cliche, but it means that these tennis players that can be the best versions of themselves that they can be, and learn a lot of skills along the way, and obviously said that their mental well-being, keeping fit and healthy, and I suppose it is for that period of time. It is like living like a professional, because everyone is together. They have all the gear. They're training while they're over there. They're playing at a high level. Obviously, it's international. Everyone is proud of them, and it's a huge achievement, like you said, for them to get to the bronze stage. Is a huge achievement for the first tournament. So it's great for you as a coach and for everyone involved to see that, for the to get that achievement so soon. And it means that, I suppose, it means that you're looking forward to the next couple of tournaments as well. So can you tell us a bit more about the upcoming tournaments and what preparations are going on for that?
Yeah, we have a couple. There's a couple of tournaments now coming up, because a lot of the players have played at the World Games now. We've got an invite to the UK National Championships. So the United Kingdom Visually Impaired and Blind Tennis Championships. Now, there's a couple of nations in the world that would be considered to be the elite. They have a lot of players, and Great Britain and the UK team are one of those countries. That's where we would like to be. Countries like Australia are very strong, Germany, Poland, they're all very strong nations. So even getting an invite now to the UK in November, which we have to look and see and make preparations for that now, and make sure everyone gets a chance to go over if they want to. That's coming up end of November. And it's just a case of now it's building on what happened in Birmingham. It's a case of building on the media that we got, to build up. All the media has to start something now, because the word out there, the players are out there, the sport is out there. We've been very lucky as well. Senator Martin Conway, Dáil Éireann, is after giving us an invite to Dáil Éireann in October to go up and meet himself and the minister. So again, that's going to be more media for the team, and it's just about giving them the boost. It was always a case of media. Is that when we walked through Dublin Airport, I wanted people to say, "Look, there's the Irish, visually impaired and blind tennis team." They knew who we were. And that's a great boost for them. It's a great boost for the players, and it's about being an inspiration for their communities. They're going to go back to Waterford and Limerick and Sligo. And they're going to be an inspiration to the people around them, that no matter what happens to you in life, you can still come through it. You can still achieve what you want to achieve and achieve your dreams. A number of them now, they're playing for Ireland. They're representing their country. Again, this was not isn't this a great little tournament? Isn't this a tournament? Look at the lovely people. This was a serious tournament. This is world champions for them. It's the best in the world at what they do. And they have played at that level. A tremendous boost for them and their families. Because no matter what it does,
it inspires others. With that are visually impaired, and say, I didn't know this. This is something I want to do, and the fact that these players have done it over in Birmingham. They might say, well, if they can do it now, maybe I can prepare and start training and get involved, and I can be there too in a couple of years' time. Or, obviously everyone kind of develops at different rates, but it's still an inspiration that they can go, I suppose, from couch to tennis court. I suppose, really, from realizing that from going from, well, I never thought I'd be able to achieve it, or looking at it and say, oh, well, I wouldn't be able to achieve that, and next thing they realize, they see others doing it and say, well, yeah, it's worth doing it, and we can do it. and I'm going to start. And that's what it is. It's about getting the information as well from your own Facebook page and from the websites as well. And getting in contact with the people and finding out when trainings are and taking it from there, really, isn't it?
Yeah, we have, like I said, the next step now is trying to build on what we did in Birmingham, what everyone else did, and growing more programs. I think the nearest program that we have to you guys is Athlone. So we have a program up and running in Athlone with juniors and seniors. The guy there, Oliver McGrath. I was helping. I was part of the process in starting up that program there with the Westmead Sports Partnership. So they were very good, and we got one going, up and going, and we've won in Tralee, and we have one in Killaloo, my own one in Killaloo. So, yeah, anyone who's interested, like I said, just type in, visually impaired tennis, to your search engine, contact Vision Sports, contact Tennis Ireland. You have my own details, so please pass on if anyone's in contact with the show, they can contact you and you can get, my details off me. Because I'm heavily involved with it now around the country, which I love doing. It's changed me as a coach, being involved with this. Really
and of course, I suppose you as a coach, you're always learning as well and meeting new people and meeting other coaches as well, because other coaches are learning from you, you're learning from them, and I think that's what makes it a better sport, because I suppose there are some aspects of it that you mightn't have thought of that they're and there's aspects that you're teaching coaches can learn from each other as well as players learning from each other and players learning from coaches and all that, which is great, and it's positive all around, really, isn't it?
No, it is. I find that in the beginning a lot of tennis coaches are a little bit apprehensive about teaching blind tennis anyway, whatever about visually impaired tennis. They're a little bit standoffish, because it is a different way of teaching it. It does take a long time, especially the B1 players who would be completely blind. That takes a long process to get them even hitting the ball over the net. It's not something that happens quickly. And then a lot of coaches get a bit impatient, not with the player, but with themselves. They get a bit impatient with themselves that they're not progressing the player as quickly as they would like. But they just need to know that it takes time, and it takes, it just takes a level of patience, and, it'll come. But, anyone who is interested, any coaches who are interested now, I know a lot of the coaches around the country, because tennis in this country is like tennis coaching is a small enough community. Yeah. We all know each other or know of each other. So if anyone was interested in, even myself now in the last 6 months, I started being involved in wheelchair tennis down here in Limerick. No, I've never come from a wheelchair tennis background, but I'm learning. I'm learning the process. I'm learning the terms. I'm learning what's involved with that. And any coach should know that, you're not going to come at it and think, you're going to be an expert at this. Yeah. It's going to have to learn it. You're going to have to, admit, make a few mistakes and all that. But I just think what you're doing for people is more important than getting them to that competitive level. I think the social side is more important than the competitive level. If they get there, they get there. It's fantastic. But it's not the most important thing. People are the most important thing here.
That's it. And you're getting a lot from it, from yourself. And, I've since I've started talking to you and doing interviews, it's it has me thinking different ways, and it's always, because even in what I do as a physio and different things like that, or even being involved in teams, or even things on the radio, you never know everything. You're always learning something every day. Every day is a school day. I'm sure it's the same for you, and it's the same for the players and all that, and that's in any sport. And I suppose the day you think you know everything, or everything, is kind of the day to give it up, because I suppose the attraction, there isn't the same attraction then. That's what strives, I suppose, to love doing it and to keep going, is to be always learning something new. And that's the great thing about sports, not just tennis, but sport in general, isn't it?
Oh, look, I mean, we have tennis coaches and, soccer coaches and football coaches and GA coaches, we have a massive responsibility, I think. No matter what sport you teach, no matter what, because we're not just teaching sports, we're teaching kids, we're teaching adults, and, never underestimate the power that sport coach can have on a child or a teacher or even a school teacher. We have a huge responsibility, I think, because, as well as our mums and dads, we have the ability, we have the responsibility, we have the opportunity to shape a child and, what they're going to grow up and become. All of that, what you have become, what I have become, what your listeners have become, that's all been mums and their dads and their school teachers and their sports coaches, and it all rolls in one. So we have a massive responsibility to kids and adults and people around the country, because we can just help a child grow up to be the person they want to be. So
that's it.
I think as long as we know,
it's about everyone coming together to give to give the players the opportunity, I suppose, in any sport, and that's what everyone is doing, and that's what sports does. So, and so we might in the near future we might touch base with you again, and we'll look further nearer to the next tournament, and we'll look forward to that. And in the meantime, all the best of luck to yourself and the players, and preparing for the next tournament. And we look forward to talking to you again soon.
Lovely. Thanks, Aidan. Thank you.
No, thanks very much. And that was Wesley O'Brien from Visually Impaired and Blind Tennis, telling us all about the tournament in Birmingham, the World Championship Games in Birmingham.